Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man JWilliams. So this video, I put up a video a while back. It's probably been about a week or so, or a little bit more, and I wanted you guys to ask any question you wanted to ask, whether it was tech related or semi-personal, just to find out about the person that you watch on YouTube and post these videos. So I've got a lot of comments on that Ask JWill video, so I'm going to start now. I won't be able to get to all of these comments in this one sitting, but I'll keep posting your comments down below on the other video. And this video, I'll turn comments on. I was going to say I'll probably turn comments off so people don't mistakenly start asking questions here. But post your comments on the other video, and I'll have a link to that video in the description. So there's a lot of comments there, and I'm just going to start with the first comment. The first comment is from Henry Taro. I hope I'm saying your name right. How tall are you? What do you do for a living? What's your favorite phone of all time? Wow, that was kind of three questions from Henry Taro. But I'll start with my height. I'm currently 6'3.5". I was 6'5", but I've had several multiple surgeries on my spine, so over time I've shrank a little bit. But yeah, so I'm currently 6'3.5" or so, maybe 6'4". I'll say 6'3.5" though. What do I do for a living? Well, I'm actually retired, and I'm also a disabled veteran. So that I've said that in multiple videos, but you might be new to my video. But what's your favorite phone of all time? I definitely cannot answer that. There's no way I can answer that because I have so many devices. It's hard to choose because one moment I might be feeling this way, the next moment I might be feeling this way. But one of my favorite operating systems of all time is WebOS, and second to that is Blackberry BB10. So I can give you that. Next one is VC, VEECEE. This question says, 3 weeks later, has ZMax Pro, how is ZMax Pro working for you? Well, the ZMax Pro is phenomenal. I'm actually even giving one of these away. So be sure to, I'll post the link to that video down below as well, if it's currently still going on at the time of this video. Yeah, so the ZMax Pro is actually phenomenal. I've really been enjoying it. I know I have multiple devices, but some devices I use regularly, and that is one that I keep in like my third slot or so, and it definitely gets used all the time for media consumption, texting, emails. It's just such a big, beautiful screen, and I recommend. I've got probably 19 videos on that phone now on the channel. 16, 17, yeah, maybe about 19 videos on the channel. So, with people asking me to cover things on that device, and I nicely put up a video on it, just to kind of, get the people what they want to see if they don't have the device and they're debating on it. So, yeah, the ZTE ZMax Pro, fantastic. This next one is from Chris Wiseman. I have a Huawei Ascend 2 with Consumer Cellular. Love the phone and the battery, but I'm a big cell phone gamer. My phone is about 3 years old, and it's really showing its age. I'm looking for an upgrade. In your opinion, what are some good gaming phones out there? Wow, well, really what you're asking is about the GPU on phones and RAM and things like that, and processing power. And so that's kind of going to depend. Do you want another big phone, or if you want to stick with Huawei? I don't know of any gaming phones. There's gaming tablets, but some phones now can handle some pretty intensive games. But definitely the more RAM you have and the good processor and the GPU, you'll be able to get some stellar gaming performance. But even on some of the phones that don't have those higher end specs, they still can perform fairly decently well. So I don't know if I can tell you a gaming phone, but I would say look into probably the OnePlus 3 or the, if you want to stay in a different range, look at the ZTE ZMax Pro. Kind of spread it out. Depends on how much you want to spend, and it seems like you keep your phones for a long time. So if you're willing to invest, I would say probably go with the OnePlus 3. Let's see. Next question is from Ed Skooker. I hope I'm saying that right. How did you get into phones and or tech? And when or why did you decide that you needed to make videos about them? Wow, that's a really good question. Well, I've actually always been into tech. Even though I was in the military and I was on ride control at one point, and I, worked in the prison system before. Even though I did all of that, I actually went to college for micro applications. And so I've always been into tech. As far as I'm dating back, I remember family members saying, hey, you love that Atari, when video games first. I remember when there were no video games. And I think the first video game was like Atari. It was like bang, 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 bang. It had these big giant joysticks. At least that's as far back as I can remember. That was probably the first video game system that I got that I can remember. But I've always been into tech. I've always liked it, even though my career leans more towards law enforcement and things like that. And I still always had some tech, and it just kind of happened. As far as me deciding to make videos about it, it just kind of happened. I was sitting around one day, and I leave the videos on my channel. So if you want to see some of my first videos, they look horrible, but they're here. So you can see the progress that I've made. I don't hide them from view. Just keep scrolling all the way back until you get to like the second page or the first page, and you'll see some of my first videos on technology. I just got up and did it one day, to be honest. I didn't really have a plan or anything. I just got up and started recording it. Then I actually took a very long break, and then all of a sudden I came back to it. And then I said, let me take this serious, because I started to have a little bit more surgeries and things, and I couldn't get around like I wanted to. And then I decided, maybe I'll just kind of pick this up. I get a pension and everything. When you're disabled, retired, you get money. So, and I don't know. I just started doing it. I didn't really have a plan. The next question is from Donald Brooks. Pretty fairly easy name to pronounce. I have a blue Pure XL, and is it worth going to the ZTE ZMax Pro from that? I really can't tell you if it's worth it or not. I would just say go into a Metro PCS store and play with it side by side with your phone. Those phones are spec'd completely different, and they perform completely different. But what you're looking at, basically, probably you've got, and I brought up specs because if I'm thinking about the Pure XL, that's the one where it has a Quad HD display. I don't know if that's the one, but I would just say when you ask people who review phones, is something worth something? I look at that as a matter of terms of would I be willing to pay that money for it, or if it's worth it, but I don't really want to pay that money for it. But the ZTE ZMax Pro obviously is worth what it's offering, because it's offering some high-end, some things that are considered supposed to be high-end, and it's on this little phone right here, which you can get it as low as $40. And then now, I've done a whole bunch of unlock videos on it. You can use it on any carrier. So the reason this is such great value and people wonder about it, and the reason I've done so many videos on it, is because it has USB Type-C, which is normally found on a lot of higher-end phones. It costs a lot. It has a fingerprint reader. It has adaptable storage. It has a 1080p display, which is actually really, really good. And it's just a really solid phone for the price. People hate on this phone because they say, oh, you budget bargain buying. But actually, they're the fools, because why would you jump right out first and buy something that's really expensive just to say you bought it because it was the hot thing? This phone right here, I can't tell you if it's worth an upgrade from what you already have, or if it's even an upgrade at all. I would say when something intrigues you like that, you can jump on YouTube and watch the videos that we produce, but I would say don't even take my word for it. Go out and match it up yourself. Put in the work. I go to the stores and I buy things. I walk in the store just like you would have to walk into the store. So I do it too. I'll go into a store and play with a phone for 20, 30 minutes before I make a decision of whether or not I want to take it home. And what are they going to do to me? They want the sale, and I might want the product. So this phone right here is intriguing to a lot of people, and a lot of people bash it, but they don't have it. So to the people that have it, 99.9% of the people that have this phone, they really enjoy it, and they're telling you, hey, it doesn't have the best cameras, it doesn't have the best speaker, but battery life. This has a 3,400 milliamp hour battery, and it's got USB Type-C with a fingerprint reader, 13 megapixel camera, adaptable storage. My phone that costs $900 doesn't have adaptable storage, and I think that's important. So you got to make the decision on whether or not you think it's worth it or not. That's my thoughts on it. Next person, wow, this person, maybe I was talking back and forth. Okay, so Strong Simps. This is a little bit misconfusion on the comments on there for this person. He said, how does a person who doesn't have a job and loves tech, for someone who does not have a job and loves tech, how does one get into this world? I would say first get your priorities together. This is real talk. Don't think about running a YouTube channel if you don't have a job, because you're gonna have to, unless you have a camera at your house already, unless you have somebody in your house that's gonna let you borrow their phone. But I wouldn't go so far as to say you're gonna start a YouTube channel and you don't have a job. I would definitely just say get your priorities together first. YouTube is not going anywhere. Prioritize some things first. Get your life in order first before you start trying to run a YouTube channel. YouTube is not going anywhere. It really isn't. At least I don't think so anytime soon. Yeah, but if you are a person who has someone in your house who has a camera, they'll let you borrow it. Who has a phone, they'll let you borrow it. But you just have to be consistent with a YouTube channel. If you put out one video every month, and that video does not get 1 million hits a month, then you're not going to probably feel like you're successful. But you have to put out videos. You got to put out the videos and put in the work, pretty much. But get your life together first before you start thinking of starting a YouTube channel. Priorities, I should say. Anthony Presarielli, or something like that. Sorry if I butchered your name. Why did you start YouTube? Have you ever thought about expanding your channel into different areas such as gaming or vlogs? How tall are you? Well, I've already answered the how tall question, and I kind of already answered the why did I start YouTube. I didn't really have a plan. It just happened. And no, I've not really ever started expanding into gaming and things like that because I don't really game. As far as vlogs go, this is one right now. I'm already doing that. From Cameron 3756. Should I get the ZMax Pro? I have 5G and 2G internet. Is there a big difference? And Metro is trying to charge me twice for my phone when I already paid for it. I don't know what this is about, but I can tell you, should you get the ZMax Pro, I would say just go into the store and play with it. I can't tell you to buy it. And as far as the 5 gigahertz band and the 2.4 gigahertz band on your Wi-Fi, for me, there's a difference because my internet is 500 megabits down. And so I can see the difference when I use it. My 2.4 gigahertz is probably faster than some people's internet, period. Getting about 70 to 100. Now, you might say, well, Jay, you're complaining a little bit. That's really fast. Well, again, my internet is very, very fast in my house, so I'm used to it. And I'm the only one on the 5 gigahertz band pretty much all the time. So, yeah, there is a little bit of difference for me, but a lot of people have commented in other videos saying it's not that much difference. And as long as it has Wi-Fi, you're fine. Bob Smith. I have the ZTE ZMax and heard about the Pro. Oh, he's got the older version. Got to hold it firsthand a little bit more. He's kind of telling me a story here. I don't want to read all this. Maybe I'll put it below. Okay, that's not so much really. I guess he's basically asking, is it worth it? Again, I can't really tell you if something's worth it. You have to kind of make a choice and decide whether or not you want to move forward. You got to play with them. You got to do it. Kyle Mitchell, okay, some different. Are you a movie goer? Is there a Mrs. Williams or a future lady? This is definitely a new person to my channel with this question. Do you prefer Android over Apple as far as phones go? Yes, Tuesday is movie nights for us, and I've been married for many years. And do I prefer Android over Apple as far as phones go? I think iOS is better on a tablet, and Android is something that I do prefer. What's up with the Blackberry Passport? Did you get it fixed? This is Sergio. Yes, Sergio, I've got a new Blackberry Passport already. It's kind of plugged in. It's right there. I had it on the charger, on my Anchor down there. But yeah, I've got that. I've already got videos up on that. Yes. AJ Walker, shout out to my man AJ. How do you utilize technology in your fitness and health regimen? What do you use and why do you use it? I actually use Google Fit, and we go to the track. Me and my wife go to the track. We have in our neighborhood, we have a really huge track, but then we also will drive out to a special track out. And I use Google Fitness. She uses an application. She has this thing where it goes in your shoe. She has that Nike watch. I think it's like a couple $100, but they give you this thing that goes in your shoe. It's strictly for fitness. I don't use one of those. I don't use a fitness watch anymore. I just use Google Fit on my phone because when I have like the armband, it can track everything now. Google Fit, the application was updated. Now I used to use the S Fit or whatever it is, the Samsung Fit, Google Fit, I can have that on any device, so I install it on every device, and it keeps track, it syncs over all my devices, and that's what I use. And as you know, health, I use fitness, I use Google Fit for nearly everything, because we go to the track, like I said, and it just tracks everything. I really like Google Fit. Appreciate the comment, man. So I'll try to get to a couple of more here. This video is getting a little lengthy. This is King Hippo 407. After reading some of the messages, I want to ask this. With as many YouTubers as there are in this particular space, do you feel you stack up? More importantly, what criteria do you use to make sure that you're putting out quality content? Well, here's how I feel about that, because I've gotten that question before. I'm really not focusing on what other people are doing. I'm not in any kind of competition with anybody else. I'm just having fun, you know. So as far as the how do I stack up with other YouTubers, I'm not really comparing myself to anybody, because I went on record and said one of my favorite YouTubers is MKBHD. Only because I've been watching him since he was a little kid, you know. So you know, I think he's really good. I watch him all the time. He's kind of one of my go-to big vloggers. Don't really follow anybody else that's in the millions, really, as much as I follow him. But I would tell anybody, don't compare yourself to other people. When you're doing something, you know, stay in your own lane and just go forward, and you know, don't worry about so much what other people are doing or not doing. And that's the problem on YouTube. A lot of people are quick to jump out. This isn't related to you, but just kind of piggybacking that. A lot of people on YouTube are very fast to lash out with anger first, or lash out in judgment first, instead of looking past that and trying to see through what the message really is. But to your question, yeah, I don't really compare myself to anybody else. I don't really have a need to, because I'm just having fun with it. I think it's great to have all the technology. As far as content goes, I'm the type of YouTuber, I just say what it is, and I try to avoid covering, you know, putting a whole bunch of things out front. I just kind of give it for what it is. And I put the product in front of the camera, and I just talk about my experiences with it. And I also, most of the videos I post, they're because someone asked me to post it. I don't know if this works, or does this phone have this, or, you know, kind of that type of deal. So as far as quality content, you guys have to decide whether the content is quality or not. I just put the product out there and give you my view on it and my experiences, because everybody's is going to be different. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that. So I'll try to do some more here. Darren, Patty, if you had a choice of only one phone from only one device manufacturer to upgrade to every year, which would you choose and why? Wow, that's a tough one, man, because when you have the ability and you're blessed to have all the different manufacturers, I can find some good in all manufacturers. So I don't think that I can really answer that. I mean, I have my preferences, but that's kind of a tough question. I'll have to meditate on that one, because, you know, that's really tough. Wow, this is a long one. So this is John Linkium or something like that. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Very lengthy statements. I'll kind of probably pop these up in the video, I'm assuming, because you guys can read these. He said, I've asked in other videos, what is a good replacement for my 2014 Motorola Nexus 6 with Android N? Version 5, beta. He's got a detail. It's 32 gig blue. Okay. What's your question? I'm in the US Cellular, by the way. So what would you choose? ZTE ZMax Pro, Moto G's, either Moto X Pure or Moto Z, or the Force. So basically he's asking me, should he switch from the Nexus 6 to the ZMax Pro or any of the other Motorola phones? I can't really tell you what to pick, because you're basically just asking me if they're better than what you already have. I say if your phone isn't broken, stick with it. You know, just keep using it until it falls apart. That way you can really soak it up and get your money's worth. Yeah, I would definitely just say keep your phone that you have if it's not broken. But if you're just eager to spend some money and, you know, just switch phones, or you're not even just eager to spend money, if you just want to switch phones, some of these phones you can actually walk into the store, and actually all of these phones now, you can walk into a Best Buy or something like that, or a Metro PCS, and use them. That way you'll be able to see if you actually really like it. So I hit the 20-minute mark, and I'm going to cut here. I'll come back to this video. If I didn't get to your questions before, just be sure to leave more questions on the other video. I'll have a link to that down below. It's your man JWill. This is a follow-up number 1 for Ask JWill. And I hope you guys put more questions in the other video. Again, that video link is below. Also, the link to the giveaway video, I'll probably pop it down there below. So I thank you guys, and I'm going to go have a cup now, some hot tea, and relax. And I've got more videos coming. So be sure to check out all the videos on my channel. I've got a video for everyone probably. I review all devices that come out. I try to. Unbiased and objectively as possible. Most things are subjective when you start to say, is it worth it, or what color is the best, or is this the best phone? Those are all subjective. You can't really give an opinion on that. But hard facts, I try to keep laying those down. So remember, this is just episode number 1 of Ask JWilliams, the follow-up. There are a lot of questions in there. There's probably about 40 questions in there, more or something like that. So I'll try to get to them. But for now, if your question was answered on here, I hope you enjoyed the answer. And you can comment below, but remember, if you have questions, to post them in the other video, which that link is in the description too. It's your man JWill. Keep asking JWill, and I'll be sure to get to you. Take care.